What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Links, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. It goes a long way for me on this video. It goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. A neck of the YouTube woods that, I don't know, has been pretty profitable in the month of June. I was updating my spreadsheets. I feel pretty good about the work that we've done here on this program. If you feel the same way, smash that like button for me. Goes a long way. Really would appreciate it. Check out BetMGM. That's great stuff too, mainly because that's good for you. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, but I mean, Cincinnati, Baltimore goes over in less than 2 innings. We have Kadai Senga, no sweat. And then obviously on Twitter, at Eric Lindquist, if you want to go follow me, I fired up Atlanta -1.5 as a lock. In addition to Colby, I don't even remember his last name right now. Again, recency bias is what it is. Over 3.5 Ks. I was projecting out the Twins lineup against lefties. It was just horrific. It was a terrible lineup. No Carlos Correa, Byron Buxton striking out at over a 33% clip against lefties. And well, it was beautiful stuff. So we cashed both of those tickets in the morning. We carried over momentum into the early portion of it. And now we have all of our locks coming up in the evening window before. Well, I don't know what's going to happen here. As of now, I'm not a fortune teller, but I can definitely give you the stats. I'm going to give you all of the research, and I do all of that for you about the locks on Lindy's Locks Update over on my Twitter at Eric Lindquist. Again, just my name. Go follow me there. Happy to be firing that up every single Monday through Friday. And hey, I even fired one up on Sunday for you because I love you like that. But friends, we have 12 games, a lot more baseball than normal on this Thursday, which is fun. Not that I wanted to have a day, a little bit more relaxed or anything. I know producer Jacob really wanted to grind out 12 more games here today before 15 games on Friday. So I'm happy for him, if nothing else. But we got a lot to get to. Why don't we just get to the pitch, shall we? It's a mismatch in the early morning window, 12:35 p.m. Eastern time, first pitch, and then 9:35 out on the West Coast. There you go. San Diego playing out east against Pittsburgh, and it's Joe Musgrove. Really, really good stuff so far this season. He's going to be going up against Luis Ortiz, who it's been a little bit of a bummer because I thought this was a young arm with some promise. You never know what you're going to get. It's the box of chocolates, Forrest Gump thing. I'm not even going to do my Forrest Gump impression. I would never do funny voices on this show. Luis Ortiz, 292 expected batting average, 381 xWOBA, and just a 15.2% K rate at the big league level thus far. It's a bummer. I hoped he would have it there. He's also got the walk showing up, and now it's a really potent San Diego lineup. I know that they continue to fail against a lot of teams here of late. I mean, right now they're struggling to create any kind of runs against them. 2-1 here, top of the 6th with Mitch Keller, but Mitch Keller is really, really good. Ended up on the under of his Ks, though. Hopefully they can get him out of the... Oh, he's about to get pulled. 100 pitches. Let's go, Premium Discord. You can get that over at BetMGM. That's good stuff. But back to today, or tomorrow for me, whatever. Luis Ortiz, it's been rough. On the other side, though, Joe Musgrove, it was only rough in the weight room before the beginning of the season. Without context, that sounds strange. He dropped a weight on his foot, broke his toe, is what it is. 29.5% hard hit percentage, though, since he got back healthy. He's wealthy. He's good to go. 279 xWOBA, just a 21.4% K rate, but I do expect that to start trailing back up, considering he was at 33.1% in 2020, 27.1% in 2021, and 24.9% in 2022. However, still, this is the best expected ERA he's ever had in his entire career, so I'm obviously leaning towards San Diego, but this number is very much factoring in how bad Luis Ortiz has been. Do you feel like laying above standard juice here, -115 over at FanDuel Sportsbook or BetMGM right now to get the Padres on the run line right now? I sure don't. I don't know why I'm accentuating my words like that, but it is what it is. Not a great spot. Think it's priced very, very appropriately. Maybe some batter props show up. You never know. Maybe. Hey, if you want to bet this one, maybe something will show up. And hey, it's not like Minnesota and Atlanta was on the card yesterday, so you never know what happens with some of the lineups. Throw out a dog doo-doo lineup. Maybe we can react to it. Just, don't always be the Minnesota Twins. I hate picking on my own team, but hey, money takes priority. We're going San Diego just on the run line. Now, this spot sucks because I think I would be firing Detroit. I'm pretty positive that I would want to be betting Detroit if there was a line here with plus money attached to it, which I would expect regardless of who's pitching for Detroit. But I expect it to be Reese Olson, who had been on 6 days of rest. They had just shifted him to every 5 days. We pitched on the 14th, 19th, 24th. And this is a stud arm right now. 4.74 ERA might not show you that, but he's had some crazy BABIP, a 1.04 whip. That should tell you a little bit, my friends. That's for sure. But the main thing is the expected ERA you put up next to this regular ERA, and it is just drastic. It's drastic. I should be able to have everything update here in 2 seconds. 27.7% K rate. In addition to it, I'm telling you, he's just a pitcher that I want to get behind early. Just 23 years old, completely unheralded prospect, but 3.81 expected ERA next to the 4.74 ERA. I expect positive regression. You got to avoid the barrels. And yes, this is a scary spot for a right-handed pitcher. Texas, second best in baseball with a 117 WRC plus, in addition to a 184 ISO that doesn't suck. However, on the other side here for the Rangers, you don't know what you're going to get exactly. I think it's going to be John Gray, but once again, no books have this listed. If it is John Gray, it's a very scary spot, but you could get an inflated number to account for a close game. So maybe we end up on an under. Maybe that projects out well. Maybe from a market-based approach, we can get to a book where we can get on Detroit at the largest plus money number on the money line. But either way, John Gray, you don't want to go out of your way to pick on. Guy's been really, really good since, well, he had been off for 11 days, comes back, has 56 pitches against Toronto. That didn't go well. But then against the Yankees, looked back to normal, 82 pitches, 5 innings strong, just the one solo shot he gave up there. Really good stuff overall. Really tough luck, 1-0 loss against the Yankees there, who, by the way, they have the fewest runs scored in the month of June. Again, I don't know why I'm saying my words very slowly today, but that's the next game up here, or is it? It's 2 games from now. I'm a liar, but I'm not lying when I say Reese Olson, despite the fact that these Detroit Tigers against righties, just an 83 WRC plus and a league low. Yes, league low 126 ISO. Actually, Cleveland's lower now as I updated it for what they're doing, which is nothing right now. Definitely feel good about Reese Olson being an undervalued arm. If you can go 5 or 6, maybe we can get a close one across the way. Again, it's not about being right. I don't want to be right. I want to attack value, and just where there's discrepancies in the marketplace, that's what Odd Chopper's about. That's what I want to attack. But again, it's also nice to be right. Detroit money line, I'm simply leaning that way right now. Oh, weird. It is those Cleveland Guardians I was just talking about going up against Kansas City. Shane Bieber on the mound for them. They're quote-unquote ace, even though they've had multiple pitchers performing better than him this season. You got Zach Greinke on the other side, who is 100 years of age at this point. Just yelling at the clouds. Can we get out of here already, Zach? 5.31 ERA, 1.23 whip. But as I just mentioned in the previous segment, Cleveland, league low 120 ISO against right-handed pitching. So at least there's some power deficiencies there. The big problem is that it looks like it's going to be hot out in Kansas City for tomorrow. We're talking 95, 100, and this is an afternoon ball game, friends. Oh yeah, we're starting to talk weather. What's better than weather? Nothing. It's really fun. It's good to take advantage of, but it's really hard to account for some modeling, but I think we got it figured out over here with the old Odd Chopper. And part of it is simply seeing where the books land on numbers and trying to attack these lines early. And wouldn't you know it, an 8.5 exists right now over at BetMGM, our sponsor. It is the only 8.5 that exists on the board. It is minus 120, but I do not care. I have this closer to 9.5 at standard juice, and that creates a run. That is a chasm when we're talking about totals. The way math works, hey, you have a range of outcomes, 0, 1. Yeah, 1-0, the lowest number. You're working all the way up to whatever the hell happened last Saturday for the Angels. At least we were on the over of that. That's good. But those are range of outcomes. And when you're talking about a full run discrepancy, this was a near lock the same way that the Cincinnati-Baltimore one was a near lock, even though that moved a lot. Ended up being a whole issue, whatever. It's a conversation for a different day. But it was still on my card, so that felt good. But either way, Cleveland, Kansas City, over 8.5. Yes, Kansas City's bullpen's been okay. Yes, Cleveland has some bullpen arms too, but we got to see exactly what everything looks like for tomorrow. Don't want to lock it before I know anything more here. Plus, I expect these numbers to all move to 9 or 9.5 by first pitch. Oh, the Yankees. The Yankees, you have, Hogan Harris, it looks like, going here for the Oakland Athletics on the other side. They're going to be hosting these Yankees, and Clark Schmidt, who I think has been pretty disappointing by Yankees fan standards. This was a AAA pitcher that they had a lot of promise, a lot wrapped up in. Well, hasn't shown out. 22.5% K rate is about standard. 43.8% hard hit percentage is worse than normal. And a 4.32 expected ERA is not exactly the ace that they thought that they were upgrading from last year to this year. He's still giving up really, really hard contact, 116.7 miles per hour max exit velocity. That means when he's getting hit, the ball is going a long way, and you're getting an afternoon game here in Oakland as well for Thursday afternoon. There will be 12 people in attendance, and those 12 people are going to watch Oakland be more successful than you might expect here, because Hogan Harris, he's yet another starter for Oakland that I think is actually kind of decent. Now, he's not exceptional by any means, but a 210 expected batting average is elite. A 296 xWOBA, despite an 9.6% walk rate, that's a little impressive to me too. The big problem, only a 20% K rate and an afternoon game here as opposed to an evening where you could get it 15 degrees cooler, even though Mark Twain always says, I say this a lot, the coldest winter I ever spent was a summer in San Francisco or Oakland because it's across the bay. He didn't say the last part. He said the first part. He said the first part. Anyway, 3.53 expected ERA is pretty good for Hogan Harris, but it's Oakland still. So we're going to lean plus 1.5. We kind of need the lines. That's kind of an important counterpart that says NA. So see you tomorrow. Hit me up on Twitter at Eric Lindquist. Happy to let you know if this ends up on the card because Oakland's on the card today again. What am I doing? God, I wish there was a line out here for this. I'm very mad. I'm very upset because it's Yanni Chirinos expected to be on the mound against Brandon Pfaadt. Now, you might not have heard of Brandon Pfaadt. It's because he did a big fat nothing when he showed up here at the big last time around. I'm funny like that. Pfaadt. Look at that. I can spell. It's a weird name, though. Brandon Pfaadt, though, he was an expected to be elite prospect coming up from the Arizona AAA division. You never know what they're going to look like because, well, AAA numbers are very inflated at the PCL. I talk about it all the time. The Pacific Coast League is absurd. You pitch in Reno, you pitch in Vegas, you pitch in, well, Oklahoma City's not a bad spot to be. Albuquerque's terrible. Albuquerque's like the nut worst. But either way, Reno is pretty close to the nut worst, or probably is because they're at higher elevation. But this is where Brandon Pfaadt went back to after he had a 8.37 ERA and 1.65 whip after 5 brutal starts in the bigs. Only one spot against San Francisco without Jock Peterson, without Mike Yastrzemski, without a lot of the lefties. I had to go back and check and make sure. Didn't have all of those lefties to contend with. Only had 1 earned against them and 1 hit in 5 innings. By far his best outing. But I think you got to attack it. You got to make him prove it in these kind of spots. And I don't know what the line's going to look like. But Yanni Chirinos is a pitcher that, whether he was piggybacking once upon a time, because, you know, Tampa Bay loves to do that kind of stuff, or as a starting pitcher, I think he's got decent enough stuff that he can still survive a difficult Arizona matchup. Sub 4 ERA, 1.14 whip, doesn't have the K rate, doesn't have the 6 stuff that you're really looking for that can fool a Corbin Carroll. But last Thursday, we got Corbin Carroll sitting. I don't think this is a scheduled rest day. I don't think that at all. But we were able to take advantage of that very quickly in the Premium Betting Discord. And when I talked about it on this program, thought it was a really good spot where you might get a worse Arizona Diamondbacks lineup than normal. Maybe that's a Thursday thing. I don't know. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. I'll look at my spreadsheet in between games. You don't care. You only care about this one. Let's be dead serious. But the Arizona Diamondbacks, they are really good against righty pitching. There is no disputing that. One of the more surprised teams in baseball with an 111 WRC plus, a 183 ISO, and Corbin Carroll and Ketel Marte, who are very good. But yet, Yanni Chirinos, I think he can be the hero that Gotham deserves here. And if we're getting anything close to even money here, which I'd be kind of surprised about because Brandon Pfaadt has really been brutal, even though, again, really good outings, 3.16 ERA, 28 strikeouts in just 25 2/3 since he got back, or well, actually, since he got back to AAA. And that's really good when you're in Reno. Let me throw that out there. Although dice might be hot in Reno. You should go check that out sometime. Beautiful scenery too. You don't care about that either? Whatever. Tampa Bay money line. I really want to bet this. Give me a number. Give me a number. Come on, books. Hit me up on Twitter tomorrow at Eric Lindquist. Let me know if you're interested in betting this game, because I really, really am. The White Sox and Anaheim, one more game. I feel like they've played 48 games in a row in this series. But a wild phenomenon here after being on the under back-to-back locks on Monday and on Tuesday and on Wednesday. Look at me putting the days together. On Thursday, we're doing the inverse, friends. It's Lance Lynn on the mound going up against Patrick Sandoval. Patrick Sandoval, really strange stuff coming off of a World Baseball Classic where he looked elite. A 1.47 whip, 4.16 ERA. Now, those are just surface numbers. Those don't matter all that much. But what really matters to me is the lack in K stuff. We're talking just a 16.9% K rate. And this White Sox offense, they're brutal against righties. But Patrick Sandoval throws from God's fearing side. So there you go. Those lefties are getting hit up a little bit more against the White Sox over the course of the last couple of years. Just a 94 WRC plus they have this season, but played a lot of that without Eloy Jimenez as well. So you got to factor that in. One of the better hitters in that lineup, without a doubt. Luis Robert, he's just hitting against everybody because he's good. And Tim Anderson forgot baseball. I don't know why. But either way, Lance Lynn, 449 expected slugging. You got Trout resting on Tuesday. You're having him in the lineup Wednesday. Does Shohei sit on Thursday? I mean, he just 27 bombs coming into Wednesday night. That game hasn't started yet, so if he hits 2 more, I apologize. But either way, Shohei Ohtani, Mike Trout, Taylor Ward, Hunter Renfroe, lots of bats that we really, really like. Brandon Drury, I'll throw that in. Everything's so dreary. Little puddle of mud for the people. But I think this lineup flips it around here against Lance Lynn because he gives up hard contact. He has a 27% K rate, but he gives up so much power at this day and age. You know, reading the good news on the newspaper page, love and condition of a grand desire. Some people say it's even harder to find. So family matters, friends. We're going the over of 9 runs. We like it in Anaheim for an afternoon delight. Afternoon delight. Next game. We're heading to Fenway for an interesting one. The Miami Marlins, Boston Red Sox, and well, it's been a strange phenomenon here because we've seen this total just kind of go up, 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 and I feel like the pitching's been getting better and better and better. So maybe it's weather, maybe it's something else, but this is a weird island game starting at 6:10 p.m. Eastern time, 3:10 out on the West Coast. So be paying attention to that. Not a typical Boston start time. I know they've done some weird stuff for like the Boston Marathon. They've done some other stuff where they'll have early start times, but this one just seems on an island to me, and I don't know why. Maybe somebody will give me a reason. But Boston, Miami, we've got on one side of the mountain, Brian Bayo, who's really starting to show out ground balls high. Jesus Luzardo on the other side, who I find to be the best starter for the Miami Marlins this season. Now, they do have some lefty power that can go left on left and not really matter. Looking at you, Devers, who did that exact thing against Braxton Garrett today on Wednesday. But against righties, Jesus Luzardo has still been pretty good. He does have a 27.7% K rate overall, a 299 xWOBA. And I'm mainly saying that because power can play up there at Fenway, one of the better hitting ballparks in baseball, and for righty power at that. But overall, he's been kind of keeping the ball in the park a little bit more this season. Nice to see a 50.5% whiff percentage on the slider, a 39.1% whiff percentage on the changeup. Those are elite kind of numbers. He is throwing this fastball a lot more, and that's not really getting the swings and misses you're looking for. And it does have a 446 expected slugging, but I do like Jesus Luzardo. Think he's been the best pitcher. Sorry, Sandy Alcantara, in your terrible year. I don't think you're going to actually be upset with that. Eloy, I'll put Perez or Luzardo. I'll start with both of them. That seems like a good baseball team. But Brian Bayo, 21.8% K rate, 41.9% hard hit percentage. Those are both a little bit below normal, but my friends, a ground ball rate at 57.6%. This is ridiculous. And we're starting to see the K stuff start to trend back up. 8 strikeouts against the Yankees 2 games ago. We got 5 along with 10 ground balls against the White Sox. He's now had 4 straight outings of 6+ innings. 2 of those, he went 7, and he has not given up more than 3 earned runs in a start since his very first start of the season against the Angels. That's what happens when you have a ground ball rate like this. It results in a 3.27 ERA, a 1.27 whip. So why, oh why, is this total 9.5 at FanDuel? What am I missing? you got to like the under of that. Now, I'm not going to lock it because it's outside of minus 110. It gets a little bit dicey when you're starting to do the math on something that's minus 120, minus 122, things of that nature. So be very careful. Make sure you're shopping for the best odds. But weird to see a 9.5 on the board, considering I didn't expect anything other than a 9 in any spot here. So I'll take the hook there. Happy to pay a little bit of the juice here, considering this is projecting out way better than that for me. My friends, BetMGM, this is the spot for you. If you have DraftKings, if you have FanDuel, awesome. I know they're the two biggest books that exist on American soil. No doubt about it. If you're in Canada, oh, hey, good to see you here. But either way, check out BetMGM because this is a great third book that you can add to the fray. And why? Well, we've got two great deals going with them, but mainly I want you having exposure to as many sports books as you can so you can shop for the best line every single day. That's why it's called Odd Shopper. It's a huge part of my process. It should be a huge part of your process. If it's not, sign up at a BetMGM or at Bet365 or Caesars or any of the books down in that comment section below. And why? Well, because they're giving you great incentives to do it, like these two at BetMGM. First, you're going to get 2 months of premium Discord here at Stochastic at Odd Shopper. Yes, we're talking about the premium Discord where I post my betting card every single day. You go to stokastic.com/Lindy. You can sign up for it there, but why not, if you don't have BetMGM, get a free opportunity to jump in for 2 months rather than pay for it? I don't know, seems pretty awesome to me, but that's not it. It's not just that, but you're going to also get up to $1,000. Yes, up to $1,000 in bonus bets back if your first bet loses. So let's say you're comfortable betting $40. All right, bet $40. If it wins on a wager, you're going to get that money back. Nothing else. Take your money, run away. It's great stuff. But if it loses, you're going to get $40 back in bonus bets to play on whatever you want. Again, it's just, it's kind of like coming back from the dead. It's great stuff. So up to $1,000 that you get in bonus bets. So if you $100, $200, whatever you're comfortable with, whatever your bankroll allows, fire that up over at BetMGM because you can't really go out of your way and lose because, well, it's just a great deal that they have going right now with us. So you sign up at the link below, take advantage of it, only if you're 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Alrighty, y'all, back to the picks. Oh, crikey, it's the Giants. They're going to see some Blue Jays. They're sneaking in on their prey. It wasn't even like remotely Steve Irwin. I don't know. My producer made me do it. Look what you made me do. It's absurd. But it is a revenge spot. Ross Stripling expected to be the starter going for San Francisco, going up against Toronto. Chris Bassett, the only officially announced starter here. So we're going to be waiting on some information. Again, that's why you see NA on the side of your screen. But let's just play a game where we assume it's Ross Stripling. That would be bad for the San Francisco Giants and Ross Stripling. A 44% hard hit percentage, 399 xWOBA, but that is the worst out of any arm for the San Francisco Giants. It's problematic. A 303 expected batting average, also the worst. 561 expected slugging, also the worst. 17.8% K rate, also the worst. Lots of problems with Ross Stripling in that pitch mix. Well, Chris Bassett on the other side, he doesn't believe in advanced analytics. Go look it up. It's a dumb quote. But a 37.6% hard hit percentage, that's decent enough. A 20.5% K percentage, what it is. But he does have a 433 expected slugging. He does have problem with lefties and a 13.8 degree average launch angle. How about a lefty who hits leadoff or right around it about every single time for the Giants? Has a lot of power, a 551 expected slugging, 402 xWOBA, used to be a Dodger, just like Stripling. Oh, Jock Peterson. He seems like a good investment tomorrow with a 49.1% hard hit percentage. Yeah, he's walking at a 14.1% clip. I don't want walks, bro. I don't want walks. Get up there and swing your bat. Yeah. Make Chris Bassett pay for his sins. That would be lovely. Doesn't believe in math. Stop it. Say the earth is flat. Get out of here. I don't know. You can go hang out with Kyrie and go enjoy those meetings. But Chris Bassett, he's very bad. I don't find him to be all that interesting at this point in time. He's not bad. He's just not as good as people think he is. 34 years old, 4.59 expected ERA. That is major ups. That's his worst mark since 2016. It's not looking very good. Give me some lefty power, whether it's, I don't know, give me any of them. I'll play any of them. But Jock Peterson, that's the guy we got to highlight. Better than plus 275. He's on the card. I'm pretty sure we're going to get better than plus 275. Thank you, Kadai Senga. Oh, 8Ks. Hits the ladder. Chaos is a ladder. Again, Kobe Allard. There we go. I just remembered his name. We hit all of our pitcher props. We are running insanely hot. This is unsustainable stuff. Can June never end? I love June. But Adrian Hauser, he probably wishes June would end. Max Scherzer, Green Day, wake me up when September ends, because all he cares about are the playoffs. But the Mets might not be there because they've been terrible. But either way, Max Scherzer starting to get back to his normal self. We backed him very successfully against Houston. That was fun. 293 xWOBA, but 26.2% K rate. Problem is, kind of been adjusted for price, but I'm still willing to be firing a half unit at this number. I still think plus money is a little bit too kind to be giving Mr. Max Scherzer here. Justin Verlander, that's a different discussion. Sure, we're going to have that discussion on Friday. God, that's going to suck. But Adrian Hauser, he's not good. 14% K rate, 269 expected batting average, gives up a lot of power to lefties and righties alike. And hey, Tommy Pham, how many times can he be on the card and that he's not on the card today? And of course he goes yard. 524 expected slugging, 382 xWOBA is what it is. I'll forgive him once. Just, bro, he's got a 50.8% hard hit percentage and nobody gives him love. Show him love, show him light, friends. -1.5, though. Just give me the entire lineup here for the Mets. Better pitcher, better situation. Taco John's, let's go. Houston at St. Louis. Really weird game that they're in the middle of right now. Houston up 3-0 in the first. Of course, St. Louis ties them 3-3, and now it's 6-3 St. Louis. I have the half unit on Houston. It is what it is. I hate this baseball team. I'm going to cheer against them forever, even if I have money on them. But that's not true because I like money more. But St. Louis, they're going to be hosting Houston here in this spot. And, well, I'm not really all that enthused with this game. JP France, Adam Wainwright, battle of the who could care less. Shout out my Ben Folds fans, but 10.9% K rate for Adam Wainwright, 555 expected slugging. Woof. Zoink Scoob. JP France on the other side, 18.8% K rate. He came out of the gate hot, but he's more of just like a good real life pitcher, not going to be somebody who's all that fancy that we're going to be targeting overs of a K ladder any day soon. That's for sure, especially against a St. Louis lineup. They bring some power to the park. I would say that, even though they bring literally nothing else here at the moment. I like Hicks out of the pen. I would take him on the Twins. But JP France overall, 3.54 ERA, 1.26 whip. His ability to have run prevention is about the only thing keeping me away from firing the over of 9. That, and we got a lot of other stuff on the card today for a 12-game Thursday that generally ends up being a little bit lighter day for me. So, tread lightly, I suppose. Breaking Bad season. Walter White. Talking with his cousin. Actually, brother-in-law. Over 9. Just a lean for St. Louis and Houston. We're heading to Wrigley. It's going to be a lovely, lovely evening for all the people out there for Kyle Hendricks versus Taijuan Walker. Well, they're probably going to watch runs, and I think I'm pretty excited about that. Taijuan Walker on the mound, 418 expected slugging, 20.7% K rate. The main thing is some of these lefties that you get a switch Harry and Happ. You get Cody Bellinger, who's kind of regressed back down to earth after a crazy good start. Both him and Adam Duvall, I kind of feel bad for. Duvall, Boston, righty, backed him to hit a homer today. Just doesn't look that good at the plate. Whereas Cody Bellinger really looks bad at the plate. Don't mind my dog, he's fine. But I'm just looking at this spot. Kyle Hendricks on the mound, 34.5% hard hit percentage. That's decent enough, but he is not going to be missing bats at 12.9% with a K rate. And that is not good when you have Brandon Marsh, Kyle Schwarber, and of course, Bryce Harper hitting in that Philadelphia lineup against righties. Oh boy. They kind of don't matter if you're preventing hard hit because they will just hard hit it anyway. Oh yeah. We like the over of 9.5. Seems like a big number. Got to be paying attention to win factors. Looks like it's going to be blowing out slightly across the field out to right tomorrow with some decent velocity behind it, 10, 15 miles an hour. Think this is going to be decent hitting weather. And if it just moves a little bit ever so slightly, you're going to see this total move big time towards 10, 10.5 by tomorrow. So 2 bad pitchers, 2. Are the Cubs a decent offense? I'm going to put them in the decent offense. Phillies definitely have a good lineup, especially with Trey Turner starting to come alive. Nick Castellanos, a much improved season on last season's campaign. I was looking for the word. Over 9.5. I like it. We've reached the end of our boarding walk, my friends, and you're probably saying to yourself right now, you haven't locked anything yet, Eric. You going to lock something yet, or what's going on? Because, well, here you go. Emmett Sheehan and the Los Angeles Dodgers going up against Chase Anderson and the Colorado Rockies. Chase Anderson, a 15.2% K rate, a 483 expected slugging. Nothing is good. Nothing is awesome. Nothing is fun when you're part of the team. But Emmett Sheehan, my friends, I love this arm. Now, I'm not gung-ho about him the way that I am Gavin Williams, but a 2.80 expected ERA, one of the best pitchers in the Dodgers system, no doubt about it, came up. 2021 was a 6th round pick, unheralded, but throws at 96, 97 like it seems all of these 23-year-olds do these days, and a .58 whip through 2 starts, everything with the 4-seamer and slider combination I kind of like. 33.3% whip percentage on that slider is really good stuff. Wish the spin were up a little bit more, but that's a conversation we might have tomorrow because this is your lock. We're getting the Dodgers in a run-happy ballpark inside of -135. We're talking -130 at DraftKings Sportsbook right now. That is way too good to pass up. And hey, -200 on the money line, I don't mind that one either, but I'm going the aggressive side of things. A 70-cent difference here at Coors is kind of the norm when you're looking between run line and, you know, something like this where you have one side with a decent pitcher, one side with a absolute gas can in Chase Anderson. I think these Dodgers, if they don't do it once tonight, which I kind of expect them to put up some runs here, small play on the over of that one. I think they smash Chase Anderson, not looking at the over, because I think Sheehan, even in Coors, it's going to be a learning experiment for him, but he's got the kind of stuff that I think can succeed there. Chase Anderson, much more targetable, 483 expected slugging. I am done talking. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know how many fabulous plays I put together on Wednesday, because, you know, it's always nice to see. Kadai Senga, that's good stuff. There were some, I don't know. You're not going to hit them all, but we're trying our best here to hit them all because it's been pretty good June. It's been a really, really good June. In fact, it's probably been the best June I've ever had betting baseball in 7 years of doing this. Probably one of my top 3 or 4 months ever. I got to go back and look, and I got to give you the facts on it. Probably my best month ever, if I had to guess. Thank you to producer Jacob yet again for firing this up, dealing with my weirdness and my barking dog. These are good things. But friends, I will be back tomorrow on Friday for a 15-gamer coming down the pipeline. Whew, a lot of baseball, a lot of baseball. Let's keep this train a-rolling, friends. Until then, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Thursday.